quite a change. People are speaking English well from Ukraine. It has been independent for not that long, but yet they are profiting from world understanding. And I think that Ukraine is doing a lot for Europe because we're standing for our freedom of for democracy, for being a person in the real sense, and fighting for the rights, not keeping quiet, not accepting whatever, not thinking of only of bread and alcohol, but trying to do something about it.
Yes, because I don't have any information about it. Just say, right, on site.
Questions for you. The first is, what do you think about the event itself? Do you feel like Canada was waiting for the festival like this to reach the people? Or whatever you think about it is? And the second is your reaction to this particular film. Is it somehow change your perception about the events in Ukraine, or is it just somehow maybe deepen your awareness or whatever? Just feel free to respond.
Okay. First on, I think it's all of this is awareness, and it's not the first time it's happened in Canada. We had a Winnipeg Film Festival, same kind of thing where there was exposure to various facets of what was going on in Ukraine over the last 2 years. So all of this, I think, is really very important for public awareness, and what made it particularly poignant was we could relate to the fact that we have a newly appointed ambassador here who was in the film. You know, we certainly recognized his wife, we certainly recognized, I'll call him the promotional director of Ukraine, now the deputy governor for Odessa. They were people that were alive for us, so certainly there was a much more intense involvement than you would have if you were watching somebody that you didn't relate to. So I think that it should be supported financially. My thought would be that if this was the last of the film series, it would have been very powerfully set up, but because it was the first, the awareness isn't there from the public about what the film festival is about, so we had maybe a little less turnout than we might have anticipated. But it doesn't mean you can't bring it back at the end of the film festival as well. So, but certainly beyond the Ukrainian group is important, and we had the Baltic Federation people here, and we had some people that don't even purport to have Ukrainian consciousness, so little by little help to improve that awareness.
Thank you so much. We are Ukrainians, we are all part of the team, and we just want to have some reaction from the people, from the audience, to know what are we going to do next, how we could improve ourselves. So I just wanted, I heard your question, it was really good. I just wanted you to maybe repeat.
Expand on it?
Yeah, expand a little bit and talk about, is it important, events like this in future, and what do you think about film itself?
Right, and this is not going to Moscow.
No.
Okay.
We are not.
You're going to have to edit this a little bit, right?
No, it's raw.
Eh?
Probably.
It's one shot? No, okay. Okay, I'm the president of the Latvian National Federation in Canada and the Baltic Federation in Canada. And I think this film is an excellent example of what should be shown to the Canadian general public. Here it's being shown to the community, and the community is converted. You know, we all love it, and we have a very positive thought about it. But the Canadian general public needs to see this kind of story. And this particular film is very powerful. I was very amazed by what it's all about and how it was filmed. And like I said, you can see the soul going into the film, into the content, which is there from those three main people who were part of it, but also you actually sense what Ukrainians have gone through during all these troubled times. And like I say, it's a great example. I'd love to be able to show this to our Baltic friends across Canada, because we're all under the same kinds of pressure from, what do you want to call that, from the East. Okay? And all these things about the discussions about propaganda coming from Russia. It's the same problem for all of our ethnic groups, all of our nations.
Thank you.
And we have to
I'm sorry, they're waiting for
this
me.
in Canada as well, because in Canada, like I said, Russian television is making advances, and unfortunately, the communities, like you said, in Canada, the general public actually hears these interesting, call those proposals or whatever, it's a Russian television. If they call Ukrainians Nazis, neo-Nazis, that's absurd. But it's also something that is directed at other groups as well. So it's basically, we're fighting the same battle. We appreciate what Ukrainians are going through, what they're doing, because as we've said in our communities many times, Ukrainians are fighting our battle, and it's a common battle.
Thank you so much. It's not for filming, but in Ukraine I was working for Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. It's like a big hub, and we had a delegation from Lithuania and Latvia, and one guy, I remembered, he told a very crucial stuff for me personally. He said, okay, Ukrainians is a very big nation, I mean, in terms of numbers, it's like over like 30 million, and he said, our nation is much smaller, so we couldn't afford so much people dying and fighting like you do. So yeah, I honestly believe that right now Ukrainians are fighting for everybody who are oppressed by Russians, and it's very important for our nations to be united and to have like kind of the same politics and like to speak loudly to the world. And I feel like Dalia Grybauskaite, she is a very prominent politician, and she's very encouraged to speak truth to the world. That's amazing. So thank you so much for your participation in our nation and to be with us in this area.
And we see the threat. We do see the threat. It could be. It's the same threat to all of us. It's just different circumstances. In Latvia, for example, it's very similar. It's a smaller microcosm of what's happening in Ukraine. What could happen with the Baltic states? They were just fortunate that they got in quickly into NATO and the European Union. Unfortunately, Ukraine didn't get in so fast, but we know why. Yanukovych. and all that manipulation of the politics, which is unfortunate. And now, it's war. And some of us feel that it is part of World War III already. But we appreciate and thank the Ukrainians for all they're doing. I noticed in the film too that in Maidan there were the three Baltic colors at the top of the statue there. I noticed.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your comments.
Thank you.